Hello students, standard 7th, revision of chapter number 4, heat in chemistry. We know that heat is the form of energy which can be used to do some work, and it gives the work we can use for the different situations. We see that when the heat is given to the object, it is becoming hotter, and if the object loses the heat, it cools down. And that device that is used to measure the temperature of the object, especially the reliable measure, that is known as thermometer. Because only by touching we cannot always understand that how much hot is the object, and therefore the device is used which is known as thermometer, in which the mercury liquid is used. We also understand about the different types of thermometer. Clinical thermometer used for the body temperature of the patient or a human being, and other thermometer is the laboratory thermometer. We also talked about that maximum minimum thermometer, and that in place of clinical thermometer nowadays we use the digital thermometer, which does not use mercury and give accurate measurement of the temperature. In the last session, we talked about transfer of heat. It means that heat flows from hotter object to colder object, and that phenomena is known as transfer of heat. So the transfer of heat can take place only when the temperature of two objects are different, and then the heat from the object whose temperature is more can flow to the object whose temperature is lower than that hotter object. But if the temperature of both the objects are same, then the transfer of heat does not take place. When the transfer of heat takes place also, it will take place only until the temperature of both the objects becomes equal. So while transferring of heat, if the temperatures of both the objects becomes equal, then the transfer will be stopped. Now, in last session we learned that there are different ways of this transfer of heat. The three main methods are conduction, convection, and radiation. So today we are going to learn about the first method, conduction. Generally, if you take a metallic rod and keep one of the hand in your hand and hold the other hand is such that it is in the flame. But the other hand, I told you to keep it in the hand, but not directly in the hand. You have to use the pair of tongs, otherwise you will get hot. So one of the hand you have to put in the hold with the pair of tongs, and the other hand such that it is in the flame of the candle or a burner. Then if you touch the other hand by the tongue, then you will feel hotter. We are not giving heat to the colder end, only we are giving heat that other end. But heat is flowing from that side to this side. It means that the process by which heat is transferred from the hotter end to the colder end of an object is known as conduction. So always in this method, conduction, the heat will be passing from hotter end to the colder end gradually. So this phenomena is known as the conduction of heat. We can understand this by an activity also, because you can't touch, as I told you about that rod that you hold, and if you touch then it may be very hot, you can burn your hand. So rather we can understand that by an activity also. What we have to do is take a metallic strip or a metallic rod, iron rod, or the whatever metal you can get it, and then place it between two bricks. Or if you are in the laboratory, you can fix it on the stand also. But if stand is not available, take two bricks and place it between that. Now, before you put it in the between the brick, do one thing, that on the strip or the rod, with the help of melted wax, you can fix few nails at a different distance, iron nails. Dip the head of the iron nail in the melted wax and stick it here like this at distance few of them you can, and then you can put that between the two bricks as shown here in the figure. You can see that if you would want to put only the drop of wax, also fine, but you can use the nails also, small nails you can stick with the melted wax also. And then what we have to do, from this end we have to give the heat by a candle. So what we are going to do here, this is between the bricks, and now you have to put a lighted candle here so that it gives heat to this end. You don't have to move the candle like that, only keep at the end of that rod. Then observe how or what happens. You will observe that the nails, iron nails that you put, will start dropping down. And watch in which order they start falling, and then you will observe that first the nearest nail will fall down, then the second one, and then third one, and the last, which is at the side of brick, will fall down. It means that heat is getting transferred from the hotter end towards the colder end, because this side is the colder one. So slowly from here it starts passing here. When it comes here, the wax here will melt and that will fall down. Then again heat will pass, and then this will fall down, and this will fall down, and finally when the heat will be transferred from here to here, then the last iron nail will fall down. So here, as we discussed, the heat is getting transferred from hotter end towards the colder end. Generally, this transfer of heat by this phenomena, means by the conduction, takes place in the solids. Generally, liquids and gases are not getting, in that heat is not transferred by the method of this conduction. Only one of the liquid is such that it is getting hot by the method of conduction, and that is the mercury. Now, as I told you, that heat getting transferred by conduction in only some materials. So now we have to learn about the conductors and insulators. Now if you will observe the different materials, solid materials also, not all of them will transfer the heat by this method. If you collect the different materials like wooden plank or stick, wooden stick, you can take some metallic strips, plastic, and some other materials. Then you can conduct the same activity that we did with that metallic strip. Then you will observe that some of them will pass the heat through them, and from some of the materials the heat will not pass. According to that, we can classify them as conductors and insulators. Maybe you have observed when you burn the woods, if you are holding the wood such that one of the end is in the fire and other end is in your hand, then after few minutes also the heat will not pass and you will not get hot. But the same thing if you do with the metallic rod, iron rod, then within the few minutes you have to drop it because heat will transfer from it. So here, what are the conductors and insulators? Conductors, the material that allow the heat to pass through them easily are called conductors. So those materials which allow the heat to pass through them easily, then they are known as conductors of heat. For example, all the metals like copper, aluminium, iron, gold, silver, etc. Most of these metals are good conductors of heat. Means they allow the heat to pass through them easily. So they are known as good conductors. On the other hand, the other materials which does not allow the heat to pass through them easily, means it passes but only a little, not a much amount. So they are also known as bad conductors or poor conductors of heat. And these poor conductors of heat are also known as insulators. For example, I told you that when we hold a wooden stick in the fire, you will not get burned because wood is poor conductor of heat, insulator. Similarly, plastic is also, cloth is also poor conductor of heat. So they do not allow the heat to pass through them easily, and they are known as insulators. Now in our life we use both types of materials because we need them. For example, in the kitchen, when we use the cooking utensils, then we have to put them on the flame so that the heat can be transferred inside and the food can be cooked. It means that cooking utensils are made from the good conductors. Otherwise, the heat will not get transferred and we cannot cook the food. On the other hand, if you observe the handles of the cooking utensils, they are either made up of the wood or plastic or ebonite and some other materials which are insulators. And therefore, if the utensil is hot, still we can lift them using the handles, because handles are made from the materials which are insulators. So in the cooking utensil you can see that both conductors and insulators are used. Generally the cooking utensils are made up of the metals like aluminium or the steel, etc. And the handles of the cooker or the other cooking pots made up of plastic or wooden, etc. So we use both types of materials in our daily life. In the next session we will learn about the other method, that is the convection. We are going to finish today's session and will be followed by the PDF file. And if any problem, write down in the comment section. Thank you very much.